Hello everyone, my name is Quant and welcome to some Diablo 3 coverage. I'm gonna show you a little quick my Demon Hunter gear and build and pretty much how I play the Demon Hunter. Just for fun, see if you guys like what you see, and I'm gonna show a little combat and see kinda like how this build works and kinda the main core of this build. Alright, first off you can see the gear here. It's not the best, but it's good. I mean, some people get over 1 million cheese damage, and yeah, I can understand people getting that, but it's kinda hard for me to do that, mainly because I don't value attack speed whatsoever, because it doesn't help the build one single bit, pretty much. So the only thing I got with attack speed is this Ring of Royal Grandeur, and that is because you got a guaranteed attack speed roll. Every single time you find this, it will have an attack speed roll, and if you don't believe me, you can check it up on Google or everything. I even got two here, all of them got attack speed. They actually got both attack speed and life on hit as guaranteed rolls. So yeah, and that is also why I don't have this as good as I want it to be. My primary stats I'm looking for is crit chance, crit damage, and resource cost reduction. I can only have two on this because it's a guaranteed attack speed roll, it's a guaranteed life on hit roll, and it's a guaranteed primary stat roll, like dexterity, strength, or intellect, or whatever. And then it only got two magical properties left. One of them is for the primary, and one of them is for the secondary. This time I was lucky and found a ring with resource cost reduction, which is actually what I want. And I rolled crit damage on it right now. I'm trying to get a crit chance because I value crit chance more. Sorry. But for now I found a crit damage, and I'm gonna go with that because I don't have any more Forgotten Souls, I believe. Yeah, I got two. And yeah, so I just kept them at that for now, and you can see I'm not that rich. And also I've not put out the best games in my chest. I found this very not a long time ago. But going through the gear real quickly, I got two Natalia sets, the head and the chest piece. You can see both are kind of bad rolls actually. You can see the dexterity on this one is super low. It got a good all resistance roll, which helps me a lot to be tanky and everything. And the secondary global increased gold and health pickup range is rather crappy for my build because I use the Denetas, which I'm gonna go through later, which allows me to spam Volt. So if I want an health globe, I just Volt over it anyway, so that's kinda crap. And it got reduced duration of control impairing effects. That can be good if you like get frozen or something like that, or feared. But if I get jailed or something like that, I can just Volt out of it. So yeah, it's not the best, but it works. Preferably I wanted resistance. And I rolled a crit chance on it, just 5% right now, so it's not the best. I'm gonna re-roll it to better once I get more gold, basically, and more Forgotten Souls. Sorry, my throat is not with me today, apparently. And I put in a 33% increase gold, simply because I don't have lots of gold right now, and there are quite a bit of things that I want to change. So that's a simple reason there. You can go with a magic find if you want to, or percentage life if I want to get a little tankier, but the Demon Hunter doesn't have that much life, so it's not gonna value that much. I could go for cooldown reduction as well, but I don't have that many cooldowns, so it's more of a what I prefer right now. And what I prefer right now is get slightly more gold. The head socket is probably one of the worst sockets out there. I could get a red also for bonus experience, but meh. So sadly it's kind of crap. Same with this one. You can see the dexterity roll is not that good. Just 455. It's kind of low, but since it is a 3 socket, you can just bump in dexterity into it and get loads of dexterity. I re-rolled, I believe, the armor to hatred region because hatred regeneration helps a lot with my build, and it got a percentage life. So this once again is quite bad. And the secondary 10 maximum discipline doesn't help me all that much. It helps a bit, but not all that much. But since I got two of these pieces, I'm gonna use them anyways, mainly because of the set piece with 250 extra dexterity and the 7% crit chance. Since I got this ring, turns the set bonus from 2 to 3 since I got two pieces, and that's just great. An extra 7% crit is really good since crit is what I value probably the most. Now for shoulders and gloves I use the Ashira's custodian. That is basically just because I found the recipe and I didn't have any um, better slots here, so I just went with these just to get the extra 100 all resistance and 20% extra life, just because there was no reason not to. I found the gloves, so I actually got quite decent gloves. You can see the dexterity roll is high, it's okay at least. The crit damage is rather low, but then again, I don't value that much crit damage, and you might go like, why not? It's so much damage. Yes, it is, but the majority of my crit damage actually comes from the weapons, obviously, because of these sockets. They are insane compared to the gloves, and you get from the neck quite much as well. So, of course, I would like to have a better crit damage roll, but it's probably the one I look uh, last at, so to say. And I roll crit damage, crit chance on these. I want to have high crit chance because crit chance helps out a lot. And I got a resource cost reduction, which is what helps me out a lot. And extra gold fine and lightning resistance, really good. Shoulders, I'm trying to get new pairs. I'm trying to get the pair of shoulders that already got resource cost reduction, preferably higher, like 7 or 8. And I actually got quite a little of gold on these, I didn't realize, but anyways. And I want fan of knife damage because that's ability I'm using right now. Might change that in the future because, as you guys know, fan of knife is melee. Well, not really melee, but it's an AoE around me, and it can be a little dangerous to run around with that as a demon hunter later on. But that's the goal at least. Plus, the dexterity is very bad on these as well. So yeah, but that's my gloves and shoulders. And for the wrist here, I obviously use the Reaper straps because it's probably the best in slot for my demon hunter. I actually got another pair here which are really cool that I could use for more damage. These enemies hit by knockback suffer 33% more damage for 5 seconds when they land, and I actually have this vault gains the effect of rattling roll rune. The rattling roll rune, I can go through here. You can see enemies you vault are knocked away and stunned for 1.5 seconds. So I can use that, but I value these more because health globes restore 25% of your primary source, and my primary source is hatred, and that's kind of what I like to spend. And I'm gonna go through the abilities, why I choose them in just a tiny bit. These are good vitality roll. The dexterity is meh, and the crit chance is obviously the best. But you can see I'm not trying to roll away the lightning damage on these. And it's basically because I'm gonna try and actually get a new pair of these that are better, because the health globes restore 25% of your primary source is actually the lowest roll. You can roll from 25 to 30, and that's the only reason I got these bracers, and they're really easy to farm as well. It's just kill Meltian, and yeah, it's that easy. So I'm probably gonna change these up in the future. My neck, I just got a decent, or in my opinion very good, yellow damage neck, basically. I roll on the damage. I tried actually to get a resource cost reduction, but I'm gonna go with the damage right now because I don't really feel like I need that much more resource cost reduction. I'm at where I kinda want. More is definitely better, but the damage is nice as well, so I thought like I'm not gonna waste more money on that because he's already good, and he's actually quite a good damage roll as well. It's actually very high. You can see 40 to 120, and it's got 57 to 116. It's rather high, and the dexterity roll is max. The crit damage is not max, but it's rather high. It's okay-ish, and the crit chance 9.5%. Poison resistance and reduced duration of control impairing effects, so it's good. For my rings, I use a Nagel ring right now, basically just for farming, because it got a 49% better chance of finding magical item, which is almost max roll. 50% is max roll, and it got crit damage, so I was like, oh, okay, I can use this via just farm. It's not the best, and what I use when I actually doing a little higher content is a little harder, and where I really need a better ring, I for now use the compass rose, because it got crit damage and it got resource cost reduction. The dexterity is meh, and it got movement speed, which actually is quite good because my boots have no movement speed, and I don't have enough paragon level to max out on movement speed. So I use these to get the max movement speed and a little more damage. And yeah, the resource cost reduction is super cool to have. But that's basically that ring. It's quite bad. It's just that it got a good magic find roll. Other than that, it's pretty much garbage. I might try and change like the percentage life or life on hit to crit chance to make it a little better. But right now I don't really feel like I need it. And like I said, I don't have that much gold or Forgotten Souls to craft. And you can see I actually keep loads of legendaries. And you might be like, well, why do you keep so many legendaries? It's because I find them good for my other characters, or they got set pieces. I don't really see a reason to destroy set pieces if you have them. I mean, they might be good for other characters, or they might be good if you like change some items or something like that. Who knows? So I feel like they are better to keep. And I also keep very many uniques that got special effects, like this for example. Your projectiles pierce 2 additional times, you may have 2 additional sentries, chance to on hit to release poison nova, and stuff like that that really got a more unique aspect to them. Movement speed right here, the manticore because it's a good damage for a 2-handed crossbow with crit damage, and enemies affected by provoke takes double damage from thorns. That's more for the crusader, but yeah, you kinda get the point, I hope. So while I can get more Forgotten Souls, I still don't really feel like I have the money to do so. So for now, I'm not gonna do that. Where was I? Yeah, that nail ring. I got this belt, which is absolutely fantastic for my build at least. It got dexterity, which is okay, and I rolled on vitality because I believe they had armor. So I rolled on vitality because I value that, but more. And it got increased or reduce resource cost reduction. Sorry, which is absolutely great for my build because I value that a lot, and you cannot get that on belt normally. So it's very cool. And also increase fan of knife damage by a whopping 36% damage. That is a lot. That is huge, and as you can see I'm using the fan of knife, so that is huge. For the ring, I already talked about it, the ring of Randall Grandeur. For legs and boots, I use the Captain Crimson's trimmings because of the reset bonus, reduce all resource cost by 10%, which you normally cannot get on legs or boots. They don't have the best rolls. They have a decent dexterity here, decent vitality, decent armor, and 2 gems. I popped in vitality because I want to be a little bit tankier. And the boot just got dexterity, vitality, armor, and strafe damage, which is my primary spell. I use the strafe a lot. And that's also one of the part I cannot have strafe damage on the head. Preferably I would like to preferably I'd want to have that, but yeah, I didn't have enough rolls. I prefer crit chance than strafe damage, straight out. And for the weapons, I have the Netta's Revenge with a dexterity and hatred roll, and a chance to knock back on hit, and a dexterity and hatred roll here, and chance to stun. The hatred rolls are really good for my build because it really helps me keep up the hatred. If I just go around and spend it, you can see it actually regenerates really fast by its own. Or when I strafe, you can see it doesn't really drain that fast whatsoever. And it's even better when I use the compass rose. So that's the gear. I don't think I missed a single piece. No, I did not. Just checking through the details. I got almost 50% crit chance with 480 crit damage almost. And con reduction is from this set piece. I don't value that. You can see my attack speed is 22%. That's because I use 2 100. That gives 15%. Other than that, I only have 7, which is from the ring. And a little quick, why I don't value attack speed. That's because if I have attack speed, it's gonna make my strafe drain faster, which is gonna make me strafe less. Sure, it will be more hits per second, but it will be more hatred drained per second. So for that reason alone, I feel like it's not that good, because it's gonna increase my DPS short-wise, but in the long run it's not gonna increase my DPS. It's not. And the other reason why I don't value attack speed whatsoever is because I have fan of knives, throws knives out in a spiral around you, dealing 450% weapon damage, and I have the rune that makes it, oops, here. This removes the colon but add a 30 hatred cost, so it costs hatred instead of having a colon. Why I don't value attack speed is also primary for this reason. You see that? If you have fan of knife on your number 1, or I believe right click work as well, but left or right click, you can spam it like as fast as you can spam the button.
My hatred is too low.
But you can see if I just quickly get the fan of knife here on the one, it doesn't work. Then you get this, which is kind of like attack speed-ish. I don't know if this is a bug or not, but that's the case for now. So use this on the left click, allows you to spam it. Makes it by far the fastest hatred spender and burst you can get in this game by a long shot, just because you can spam this insanely. It's just insane how much you can spam this. So that's why I don't value attack speed whatsoever. It doesn't have my build. Okay, so going through the build, I got the fan of knife with knife experts, as you could see, to spam it. I got strafe right now with rocket storm. I used to have it with stinging steel, increases crit damage. The only problem is that these knives are actually rather slow, so if you are up against enemies that move a lot, then these are not gonna hit that effectively. And I felt that I could just go with rocket storm as well, because it shoots out the rockets, so the damage might be a little less, but it's more predictable. It's easier to hit, you always hit. The shots are like instant and the rockets are homing, so they always hit. It also gives a good reason for me to use ballistic, increase the rocket damage by 100%, and in addition you have a 20% chance to fire a homing rocket for 150% weapon damage when you attack. That is really good. So for that reason I use that, basically. And I'm also trying, maybe, since I got both the Natalia set, I actually got these very recently, but at least before I wanted to have a syndicate, yeah, because it would reduce the cost of my strafe by a lot. And if I would get a syndicate, I would change the fan of knife to the cluster arrow. And fan of knife is a little harder to get in high torments as well. I got 4.5 million toughness. Yeah. And I'm in Torment 2. I can go Torment 3 as well, but it can be a little hard to get in and actually spam these fan of knives when needed. But yeah, going through the build, so I use Rocket Storm here. I feel that that's the best if you're not using the Stinging Steel. Demolition is good if you want AoE, but it's gonna be fewer hits. It's actually way less hits than if you hit with a Rocket Storm or something like that, which is gonna make it Night Stalker not regenerate discipline as much, because that's kinda how you make this build work. You spend hatred and you use discipline to get back hatred, and the Night Stalker keeps your discipline going up. That's basically the entire idea. So demolition is less damage. You can see it's only 40%. It's only 340% damage, while otherwise it's 400% weapon damage, plus here a 90% weapon damage twice per attack. You can see like every single time here where I start spinning 2 rockets. So every time you shoot 2 rockets here, it's kind of hard to see when you go like this, but yeah. So it's just more hits, and yeah, it's more single target damage, which is what I use it for mainly. Drifting Shadow would be kind of nice to have, but I don't really feel like it's necessary, mainly because I had the Netta set, so I can just vault away if I want to. And this doesn't really last as long, and it doesn't do that much damage, so not worth. Since I have the Netta set, I am using the Vault with Action Shot. And that is because the Action Shot got guaranteed hits for 75% weapon damage. Actually crit quite a bit, since you shoot 4 of them. And it regenerates your discipline. And since I got the Netta, it costs hatred instead of discipline. It still says it costs discipline, because the tooltip never changed in this game, but you can see if I just vault here, maybe you cannot see, but you see it regenerates now, but when I start vaulting you can see it kind of goes down, and yeah, it kind of stays. But this makes it so I can just pretty much vault endlessly. You can see pretty much drains no hatred whatsoever. And when I need more hatred, I just pop the preparation. And for now, I'm using the Wolf Companion. That is mainly because he deals some extra damage, which is nice, but he also got that active 30% increased damage for 10 seconds. It works really well together with Fan of Knife spamming. If you got like this much and you see a pack, you can just pop that and just go in and just spam these Fan of Knives, and you can see how many I can spam. That is loads of damage in a very, very short time. Also works very well to pop Wolf Companion together with your Vengeance. So yeah, and then for the Vengeance I use Seeth, gain 10 hatred per second. That's gonna do so I can strafe endlessly and still regenerate to pop some Fan of Knives here and there. So it's gonna increase my single target damage more than any of these. Also because it shoots rockets, and I also got increased rocket damage. If I want to go like let's say here, you can see instead of homing rocket, launch 2 grenades. And 2 grenades that do 150% weapon damage. It's gonna be 300% weapon damage in total if you just clump them up together. But here I got 40% rockets damage, which is doubled, so it's 480% rocket damage. So it's 160 times 2, yeah, if you just clump them together, so it's 320% weapon damage. No, 300 and yeah, 320% weapon damage if you just clump them together, I believe. Yeah, short mathematic, but it's more. But this is AoE, sure, but even if this did slightly more damage, definitely better to just go with Seeth to get a hatred regeneration. You could also go with this, Vengeance Force House, you continuously doing damage. It works. Side cannon, I guess it works, but it's less damage, but it's more healing, and I don't really see that you need that much of a with the Demon Hunter. You very rarely get hit, and when you get hit, you can pretty much always use the potions, or if you are out of potions, it's really dangerous. I can just bolt spam like this, because while I'm vaulting, I am immune to damage, so I can just bolt around if it's really dangerous. And from the shadows, I can use if I am together with a group or something like that, where I value more stuns and everything like that. But when I'm alone, I don't really value stuns that much. And of course, the preparation with punishment, restore 75 hatred for 25 discipline. Now, of course, this one also benefits from cost reduction, which you can see I actually got quite a bit. I got 35%, and if I use the ring, I got almost 41% cost reduction. So yeah, you can see it's a lot, and I'm not even using a full sprite or something like that. So that's the build, and for my passive you can see the Night Stalker to regenerate the discipline. That's a key of this build. The ballistics, because my main ability is with the rocket storm here, with the rockets. And archery, because it's an obvious choice. 5% extra crit and 1% hatred, because I'm using 2 100 crossbows. And crit chance is what I'm going for. And this increases your maximum hatred by 25, and in addition I gain hatred and discipline when I are healed with health globes, when I pick them up or when a friend pick them up, and that is really good, because it also combines with Reaper's Wraps very well. Not only do I have like 30 plus 25% of my primary resource when I pick up a health globe, it also increased my maximum by 25, which increases how much I get from this one, since it gives from your 25% of your primary resource. So the higher resource, the more this is gonna give. That is the simple idea. I also got Nemesis in my bag just because, yeah, I want them if there are enemies. No, not enemies. If I find shrines or pylons, I wanna just use this. So without further ado, I'm gonna jump into our rift. This is Torment 2. I might not show the entire rift because that's probably gonna be very slow, and yeah. But I'm gonna cut into pieces where you kinda see me just handling the different mobs, like elites and everything, and how my Fan of Knife spamming works, and I will probably show you the scene with the last boss fight, and can show you how I do with that fight and everything. And hopefully this does not like too much to record and play this, because my CPU is not the best, but we will have to see. see some fan of knife spamming.
My
That
hatred is too
is an
low.
entire blue pack, pretty much just completely killed by my fan of knife spamming, and I did not even pop the wolf companion cooldown, as you can see in that fight. And when my hatred is low, I just pop preparation. And if I run very low on both discipline and hatred, I can just spam like this. It will regenerate my discipline very fast. I just pretty much find a wall and just spam into the wall. And it will help me regenerate quite a bit of discipline without losing any hatred pretty much whatsoever. So if I run out, like very run out, I can at least do some damage. This is not as much damage obviously, but it's some damage. I'm gonna pick up the health globe and then I'm gonna change to the nemesis, click that and then change back, and then I'm just gonna start spamming the fan of knives. You can see I didn't use the colon there. Maybe that was bad, I should have used the colon. I just wanted to show that they die quite fast even without the colons. The frozen things do hurt a lot because my cold resistance is what's lacking. You can see there are loads of mobility with this build. Just trying to keep the safe distance. When I can, I just pop some kind of knives. Now they start dying 1-1, which means they are gonna drop health globes up crazy, and now I can pretty much spam those fan of knives freely. And I don't have to be afraid of running into them with a volt, because that actually stuns them, so it's actually as good if I connect with them with my volt. So if I want to do the fan of knife, I can just vault in and hit on them and then just start spamming the fan of knife. The fan of knife also goes through wallers, which is always a big plus. But you can see I almost kill like big loose packs just with the fan of knife spamming without even popping wolf companion.
Need more time.
I didn't see I activated a
Not ready yet.
You can see I could still kill that treasure goblin even though he was about to escape, and I just spammed the fan of knives to get with the vengeance. It works so well together. And here we got a shield pylon. So I'm gonna pop my nemesis. I'm gonna pop the pylon, change back to my Reaper's Wraps, and just pop wolf companion and start fan of knifing, and we will see how fast they kinda die. I don't think I can fan of knife them all the way down, but we will have to see like how low HP they actually have when I stop fan of knifing.
Not enough hatred.
Yeah, you can see the small ones are like 1/3 and he's like half HP. Oops. And then we start picking up health globes and they start and die 1-1, and you can see like the chain reaction. Like when they die, they got a super high chance to drop health orbs and just use them. And as you can target wise, I can just go around here straight, all I want.
I need more hatred to do that.
So here we are starting the fight with the Rift Guardian. It's the Lich King. The Skeleton King. Close enough. And I also leveled up. That's cool. So yeah, I don't have that many colons, but I'm gonna go in and just pop my wolf companion and just spam in his face. I got a couple of health globes from the pack before, and just not spam when I don't have any hatred. Simple as that. I'm gonna go here and pop one, and you can see I'm just gonna strafe here, and they will die eventually. And eventually I will get hatred so I can pop 2 kind of knives or something like that. here I can pop one. And you can see he got like 578 million HP, and he goes down quite fast. He doesn't go down super fast. It's not like this is a super burst build. It's actually more of a high DPS build. He actually jailed me there. I don't know if that's helping me. I didn't know he could jail, or if there are some other mobs close by, or if the Rift Guardian Skeleton King just can jail. I haven't really thought about that. Now I got the Vengeance as well, so now I can just spam here. You can see with the Vengeance, straight here deals tons of damage, and I can spam some more Fan of Knives here way easier. You can see my hatred is not going down when I strafe with Vengeance on. And yeah, it's dead. It's not like the fastest kill, but it's a very stable and good kill nonetheless. And here are the loots. We did not get any legendaries, sadly. It was not the biggest rift either, but yeah, that's my build for my Demon Hunter. Loads of mobility with Vault and Strafe. Vaults allowing you to reposition yourself very easily and get some small damage out. Strafe just continuously kite while dealing damage, mainly to single target, because it doesn't deal more damage if there are more enemies, it just splits the damage basically. And the Fan of Knife, just spamming when I get into packs and just want to kill them super quickly. The Wolf Companion to deal some nice damage, just mainly because there is not super much else to do. I used to have Chakram Shuriken Cloud here, because I was anyways going melee with the Fan of Knife. The thing is that Fan of Knife got a decent range, while the Chakram Cloud here does not. And yeah, I was like, it's on all the time, it's good. And yeah, you get some damage out of it, and it's okay, definitely. But I'm using the... and also the crits from the Chakram also helps you maintain from the Night Stalker. But I just went ahead and went with the Wolf Companion. It's more single target damage because it deals 150% of your weapon damage. And the active really synergizes well with the Fan of Knife spamming and when you use Vengeance. So that's basically gonna be that. If you liked it, then please subscribe, hit the like button, obviously if you liked it, and share it or whatever you want to do. It always helps me out a lot, and I will see you guys next time.